So this week I thought I'd do something a little bit different, and I thought I'd ask a lot of my YouTube making friends if they wanted to ask me a question on video. So keep watching if you want to find out what I answer to.
Hey Vicky, Dave here from Dave.G.Designs. As you know, on my channel I use wood, I use resin, I've used silicone, I'm starting to do some metal working, and I'll pretty much have a go at most things, and I do wood turning as well. Is there anything that you haven't yet done on yours that you want to, and what does the future hold for the Carpenter's Daughter once you've finished doing up your house?
Funnily enough, I get asked that question quite a lot, and it scares the crap out of me. The thought of running out of jobs, not being able to renovate things, because it's part of my channel story. I don't want it to end there. So hopefully I'll get to just have a play around more with maybe making some wooden bowls. I have a lathe in my garage that my parents bought me secondhand, and just keep trying things. Like I want to build a shed, and I want to start trying to hand carve spoons. Obviously I don't need to do those, I just want to have a go. And it would be nice to sell up and buy a plot of land and just be able to build a house from scratch.
Hi, my name's Pam Harris from Highland Boxes, and my question for you, Vicky, the Carpenter's Daughter, is the YouTube channel and the DIY making full-time or part-time? If it's part-time, what job is it you do?
No, YouTube isn't my full-time job. It actually doesn't pay that great, particularly for all the work that goes into each video. I like to do the DIY videos to just try and help other people save money, because I know I've struggled or procrastinated in the past thinking that looks hard. But for a while my food blog, takesleavevikkie.com, was my full-time job, but because I've now split between that and a DIY YouTube channel, that has suffered. It's mostly been because Pinterest's algorithm has changed, because I used to get quite a lot of traffic from there, and it's always just traffic because I've got certain ads placed on my blog. So it now is 50-50, but it's not reliable, any of it. At the moment it feels nice what I'm doing, but yeah, you do wonder if your luck's going to run out.
Hiya Vicky, Warren here from Big Boys DIY. My question to you is, would you have started the YouTube channel The Carpenter's Daughter if it wasn't for the fact that you had to do renovations in your own house? The renovations you've done are absolutely brilliant, they're fantastic. You're a great inspiration to other people, and please continue in what you're doing. You get a big thumbs up from me. I love watching your videos and find them very easy to follow along with. Thanks Vicky.
Yes, definitely, because I already had my food YouTube channel, and then I opened this one to feature all the shabby chiking pieces that I was doing, but that wasn't to do with this house. That was just to upcycle something to pop on my eBay store. So yeah, maybe I would have got bored of it sooner, because I found something that is a win-win situation for me.
Hi Vicky, Paul Lockwood here. Question for you. What's been your biggest high and your worst low in relation to your DIY channel? And that can be anything, whether it from be actually tackling a project, researching, interaction with the viewers, because I mean us viewers can be pretty brutal at times.
The biggest high has definitely been the opportunities that have come my way, like being on the BBC. I think it'll take a lot to top that. And the biggest low is when you've got a weekly schedule and you're filming a project and it's not going right. It's devastating. You're in that mindset of, should I upload it or shouldn't I? And it still tells a story if you're failing. I suppose you can't be perfect every week, as some people have told and reminded me. But it would be nice, wouldn't it? And I've not had any formal training, so yeah, that is definitely a gutting part of the process.
What would your advice be for making a successful YouTube channel?
I'm not necessarily successful, but I know that this channel has been more popular than my food YouTube channel. And when I started this channel, I didn't give a hoot what I looked like, what camera I was using. I just wanted to get a few jobs done, like convert the camper van and just document it. I didn't even do full videos. I was too afraid of my proper camera getting dirty, and I was surprised how quickly it was growing in comparison. And I think it's because I was telling a story and just sharing my documents, my DIY projects from start to finish. So over time I've realised that voiceovers really help, talking through every aspect, assuming that the audience don't know everything, because there's going to be a lot of people that need help to build their confidence as well. And I try and get a load of camera angles, which is time consuming while you're filming a project. I'll move it from one place to another to try and zoom in, change the action shots, just to keep people on the toes, keep people interested, and to help show any aspects. If you can't see something in particular, you need a good view, that does help. But I wouldn't jump in, spend a load of money on cameras or anything like that. Just see how you get on with a camera phone. That's exactly what I did here. And I was surprised how quickly it was growing compared to my food YouTube channel. And I spent a lot more time on that. Well, I spend a lot more time on here now because there's a lot of jobs that I've got to do. But it's been much more worthwhile. So if you just think what would be useful for you, what problem solving can you share, then you're probably going to do all right.
Hi, it's Andy from Tales and Tinkerage. What piece of advice would you give to any aspiring YouTuber or vlogger other than just get on and do it?
I definitely think you shouldn't assume just because somebody's already got content out there that you shouldn't do it too, because you might be able to convey it so much better and much more interesting. And like I said before, make sure your content is useful, but vlogging or YouTube might not be for you. I know a lot of people that are so much more successful doing a blog instead, and for my food blog it's much more successful than a YouTube channel. But here it's completely the other way around, and I think that's because I'm a visual learner and there's only so much I can get from reading on how to do something. So I don't spend a lot of time blogging about what I do here. I just share a little video within a post of what I've done this week, and that is it. If you're doing something, document it, because it could be useful to someone.
Sometimes we have in our heads negative self-talk that stops us getting on and doing things, whether it's DIY or whether it's videos. Does that ever happen to you? And what do you do about it when it does happen?
Without a doubt, but it's usually when I'm overtired, I've got so much planned ahead, or hormones, and you've just got to take a step back and have a rest. It could be just a matter of sleeping on it, but something that I always remember my journalist tutor teaching me at uni was, if you are struggling to write about a topic, and this could apply to this as well, then do more research. It's usually you just need to look into it more.
Hello, I'm Matt from the YouTube channel Badger Workshop. It was great to meet you earlier in the year, and so many other people at Maker Central. Are you going to be attending next year's one?
Hi Matt, yes, I am definitely going to Maker Central next year because it was so much more fun than I anticipated, and I'll probably be going for the 2 days instead of the one, hopefully. It depends if my dog gets a little bit lonely. So yeah, hope to see you again.
Hi Vicky, it's Thomas from Casual DIY. I've got 2 questions for you, hopefully you don't mind. The first one, what's your favourite tool?
I honestly can't think of a favourite tool. I use my screwdriver obviously a lot, a spirit level. I have said before that I love my Builder Square because it's given me the confidence to get things right. To me they're tools, not toys, so it's really, really tricky. I loved using a miter saw for the first time, but I think power tools just generally scare me, just the fear of the unknown, and I've not had any formal training either. So I think it's just safe to hone in a skill with hand tools and just try and progress from there. I can't think of a favourite tool. I'll get back to you on that one.
And the second one is a little bit more tricky. What is the tool that you really hate using, but you have to use it to get the job done? I'm quite curious of your answers, and I hope to see them soon on your YouTube channel. Keep up the good work. Absolutely awesome channel. Thanks.
I don't think there is a tool that I hate to use. I'm not keen on sanding. That's got to be... Let's just go with sanding. I'm sure a lot of people would agree. Just going from low grit to high grit is so tedious and dust gets everywhere. Yeah, I think that's probably a good one.
Hi, I'm Christina from manomano.co.uk, and my question for you, Vikkie, is what was the biggest challenge that you've had to overcome so far during your projects?
That would probably have to be my most recent project, and that is scribing a very specific piece to fit inside a slot, and it was an absolute nightmare. And I took my time, I did my research, and it just wasn't how I wanted it. So I'm going to have to use some silicone sealant to fill the gaps. I'm not happy about that, but I know that it's not the end of the world. Yes, I was beating myself up last night about it. That's one thing that I've got to overcome, is sometimes I will not always succeed, but at least I could come back to it when I feel I'm ready to perfect a skill. So hopefully it was just a matter of not the right compass, because I did use a pound Asda compass. I also went out and bought a downward facing jigsaw blade for it so it didn't chip the surface, and it still chipped the surface even with masking tape. So yeah, I've just got to overcome the failures, and I don't take those lightly.
I mean, come on, I mean, as if I haven't got enough to do already, and I have to think of questions. Questions? You don't make it easy, do you? A few questions, she said. Just ask a few questions. I mean, bloody hell. Van, hands, DIY, jumping up and down, music. Right then, suppose I've got to ask something. Question number one. If money was no option at all, and you could make anything, absolutely anything, but it must not be connected to your house or DIY, what would that thing be?
Well, you don't make your questions easy, do you, Geoffrey? I have thought about this long and hard, and I have no idea, apart from I would love to make a time machine. Obviously it's not possible, or is it? But that would be awesome, going back in time.
And this one's really important. If you were a man, would you grow a beard?
Yeah, I think I would.
Hey Vikkie, John Clothier here. You've mentioned your fiancée quite a lot in videos. When are you getting married? And will we get an invite?
Very good question. Eventually, but every time we save up for a wedding fund, something breaks, or we've jumped on the property ladder because we've been selling like hotcakes. So yeah, that's why it's been just put off so many times, and things are expensive.
Hi, this is Keith from Ashgard Returning. Vikkie, I have one question. I'm always quite amazed at how much content you manage to put it on your YouTube channel. How do you manage to stay focused and follow your projects through? I genuinely struggle to find the time, or I do tend to start projects and then get distracted and move on. I'd love to know how you manage to stay so focused and see a project through from start to finish constantly every week. Yeah, don't know why. I just seem to have a massive problem and never seem to get to finish a project.
I think it's definitely the fact that I have to do these jobs more than I want to do them, because I don't want to live in a house that's a mess or a wreck. And having an audience that are egging me on and they're so supportive, that really is a huge factor in it as well. The more you stick to a routine, your schedule, the less likely you're going to break it, I think. And ultimately, the more jobs I do, the more money I save. So that is a massive bonus.
Hi, I'm Martin from MG Makes.
I'm Martin's better half Emma, and I'm from EJ Godsall SW.
My question is, what is the skill you want to learn the most?
There's so many things. Obviously wood turning is something that I'd like to try. Welding, love to do that. Even forging things. Just something that creates cool end results, and I'd love to be able to make some industrial style furniture like steel legs with wooden tops, so I can create more of a modern feel.
And my question is, in a predominantly male-led category, have you faced any negativity, and if you have, how have you dealt with it?
Thank you.
I actually thought I'd get a lot more negativity than I've had. Most people have been amazing and really encouraging, but occasionally I will get something like, get back in the kitchen, or get back in the kitchen and bake some cookies. And you just think, oh, what a cheap shot, and you've just got to take it with a pinch of salt. So I don't like to get upset, I just like to get even, and it makes me even more determined to show I can do some DIY if I want to.
Hi, it's Pete from Pete's Bunky Handicrafts. My question is, what would you tell to young girls and women to encourage them to start making things, to show those things to their family, to the neighbors, to the publics in general? What would it be?
I'd definitely say just because you're female doesn't mean you can't, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Unless it's electrics or gas, then I wouldn't even touch those. But there's so many occasions where somebody's told me that I wouldn't be able to do something, and then I've gone and done it. And I just think nobody will be able to know whether you can or can't until you find out.
Hi Vicky, it's Rob here from YouTube channel Spend Time Save Money DIY. Like your dad, I'm also a carpenter, a cabinet maker and a joiner and a DIYer. And I've also got two carpenter's daughters, Mia and Holly. And Holly's got a question she'd like to ask you.
Hi Vicky, have you got any advice from one carpenter's daughter to another?
Yeah, I remember having quite a cushy number, the fact that my dad could do almost anything, and we always thought he was the strongest man in the world. I suppose every kid thinks that. But I would definitely, while you're young, while you're still at home, make the most of him. Make sure he's teaching you how to do things. Even if you're helping out just sweeping the floor, sweeping sawdust, you'll pick a few bits up. But because I learnt quite late on as well, it's taken me a lot longer to understand the value of money. And it's a great feeling just to be very handy, and you never know when it will come in handy.
Hi Vicky, good question. Continuity. Some of my videos could take several days to film. So when I'm filming, I'll make sure that I wear the same top and the same trousers. But the trouble is, by the end of it, I stink. So I just wondered if you had that problem.
Very good question. I don't really care that much about continuity. As long as the video is coherent for people to understand. Sometimes I might share footage in a different order for that reason. But I will often wear a top 2 days in a row because that's a painting top and I don't want to get any of my good clothes dirty. But one deodorant is really good, and that is Mitchum's, because I don't often break in a smelly sweat. I don't really break into a sweat that often. Maybe I'm not working hard enough, but it's never that hot. But at the moment, yes, this is very hot work. We've got a full-blown heat wave.
You've got a lathe. Are you planning to use it anytime soon? What are you planning to make? Are you looking forward to using it and giving it a go?
What I would love to start doing is turning some wooden bowls and actually featuring them on my food blog as well, just so the two can merge. And I think it just adds more of a story, and it would be nice to be able to have a little shop on my food blog as well for all the handcrafted things that I've made, providing I'm any good and don't want to sell rubbish. But I think it'd be really good practice, and I just need to clear out my garage to sort that out. And have a holiday first, definitely.
Oh yeah, and last question, or more of a challenge. I challenge you to a dance-off.
I'll let you decide who wins. Hey, this is Sophie from the YouTube channel Make It Soph, and my question is, since starting the house, what is the one project you are most proudest of? I don't think there is one that I've favoured more than any others, other than there's jobs around the house that have made me think, wow, I did this. Like our patio, I walk on it barefoot quite often thinking, oh, this is so cool. And the kitchen, it's usually the jobs that offer the biggest transformation before and after that completely amaze me, that I'm the most proud of. And it doesn't have to be a big job, just tidying a kitchen can do huge things.
Hi, I'm Shan and I blog and vlog as Helpful Mum. I want to know if your fiance gets as involved with the projects as you do. I only ask this because my husband is useless with any kind of tools or DIY, so I do everything in the house so that he doesn't have to.
I much prefer doing DIY on my own because me and my fiance do not get on, because I'm painfully slow to him. I've also got to manoeuvre a camera to get loads of angles, and he just wants to get a job done. And sometimes I think rushing a job can produce sloppy work, particularly when, if you're like me, and I've never done certain things before, I need to take my time, and you've always got to work at your own pace. But he definitely does more electrical things, and that's the kind of thing that I just daren't do.
Your YouTube channel is really quite niche and I love that about it, but do you ever feel like you want to kind of expand on that and maybe step out from it a little bit and do something more than just the carpenter's daughter?
I think most YouTubers would probably tell you they're so scared of completely doing different topics each week in case they lose subscribers. So it's nice to have loads of different things about renovating a house. But if there's anything different, I'll try and stick it on my food YouTube channel or do a series. So last week was the final ending of renovating a bedroom series. Next I'll be doing the plumbing, which I'm scared about, in the conservatory to do a utility kitchen. So as long as you don't create a tight box for yourself, you can expand. But yeah, I know completely where you're coming from. Sometimes it's nice to do camper van travel one week and then DIY the next, because I sometimes will need a break because I'm not a professional at what I do. So hopefully that's answered a lot of people's questions, but if there is anything that you've wondered and I've not answered it, feel free to comment below and I'll roll it into a part 2. And that's it. Hopefully I'll see you next week with my finished coving video. Thanks, bye!